Welcome to Strategy Unlocked, powered by Business Navigators.
Hello, welcome to Strategy Unlocked. My name is Luke Medvegy. I'm today's host, and today we have Jarvis Buchanan with us, a great fellow veteran and entrepreneur is going to share his story. We're excited. Jarvis, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hey, good morning, afternoon, or evening to you, wherever you are, audience. And Luke, I want to first start by saying thank you for having me on your podcast. As mentioned, I'm Jarvis Buchanan. I am a currently serving officer in the United States Army, 23 years, second of this year, and we're still marching up until next year. And so I was very excited when I saw a fellow podcaster who was intrigued and interested in interviewing me, reference some of my strategies. And so from my life, I'll go through here in a few different phases. One, military, and how I've been inspired over the course of the last 10 years to develop something that I think is relatively special, not just for myself, but for those who are struggling to become a better version of themselves, and also to build a business that you're passionate about. And so speaking, I was more so into moving the impressionable children, youth, about 10 years ago. And I was writing children's books. I published 3 of those books, titled I Dream in Color, 1, 2, and 3. Luke, and the publishing of that second one, I was in command in Asheville, North Carolina, of an import company, and I was doing great. I was focused on building, and metrics, and the first year passed well. Around the halfway point, I had a young man who came to become a part of my unit, and he came with active experience in Afghanistan, and I think Afghanistan or Iraq, actually. And I was a commander of an Army Reserve unit. So these guys came in once a month and 2 weeks during the year. And so this young private was and no one really knew him. And so right in your training, we had what we call battle assembly. He came in one day and he had his hand bandaged up. And it meant that he had failed, but the doctor's report actually indicated that he stabbed himself in the hand. And so I thought that was odd. I said, come on, you're still, you're out and trained, you're going to be a soldier. So we went out, we did 2 weeks, and we arrived back, and I never saw the soldier again after that. A year later to the date of our annual training event, found out that this young man committed suicide. And really stuck with me is the fact that he was 5 minutes from the unit that I commanded. And instead of making the decisions to jump into a government vehicle to go down and check on this gentleman, I was actively trying to process him out of the military. And it hurt. It took me a while to recover from knowing that I probably could have done something, and then understanding all the variables that also were included in something like that happening that were outside of my control. And so at that moment, I transitioned from impressionable youth, which I still love to chat with, school and read my books, but I knew I wanted to be someone who was more active in the dark space, which is what I call that space between becoming a civilian, leaving the military, and moving on to something else where you're really a new employee. It's a career transition into entry-level employment. And a lot of us go through many stages and phases of detachment from the military. And so that's been my drive since around 2012 or so. I'll jump forward to 2017 when I started penning my first self-help book for veterans. It's Time to Never Lose Again, and it's essentially what catapulted me into really reaching out to our veteran entrepreneurs who don't understand how the civilian works, and helping them to plan using military as a guidepost and what we've learned in terms of the operations order, transferring your knowledge of who you are, your expertise to a civilian sector that may not understand what all the ribbons actually meant to us. And so we're, forward in the venture to build, but my story starts with a young soldier who is not here to share his story with us, but there are so many others out there that I can help. And so I've been adamant about trying to create a window of opportunities for everyone who will listen or who will, hear the sound of my voice for maybe 5 minutes. I'm pitching my passion. Over.
Wow, Jarvis, that's a lot. Thank you for sharing. And I'm going to say that is a very moving story. From soldier was going through, and then you had the ability, and you're like, whoa, we failed, like we somehow some way failed the soldier, and we don't want to fail any more soldiers. So my next purpose in life is, let's stop failing soldiers between where they are now, where they may be even in their transition cycle. I think that's a huge calling, and that's a big mission you're taking on, and that has to be a mission from the heart, I can tell. So in that process, what is some of the golden nuggets or a couple maybe spice you can share with folks who are kind of some of this? What is, can you share with the audience today?
So the first things that I could personally share is about how to build a newer venture or a business that front end loading, as I like to call it. My first attempt at trying to build a learning management system, which is something that I'm still working on now, I'm not ashamed to say was a failure. And it was because I did not take the time to develop an audience, to my avatar, if you will. For entrepreneurs or, entrepreneur, if they're listening, you have to visualize who you're selling to. And you have to create the audience that will want to absorb the information that you are preparing, right? We're all here to be able to serve someone. We all have that passion inside. It's something that we're better than everyone else in, and that people gravitate toward us regarding, and our job to emphasize whatever that is and to really bring that to bear. And so when I initially started, I had 5 modules, and my concept was leadership psychology, and I was going to build on my background in psychology and my master's in leadership to culminate, to build a mindset for veterans who want to become their own engineers and bridge the gap between the military and the entrepreneurial world. However, when I completed my pilot program, a week long of the comprehensive five approach to becoming that better version of you, I sent it out. And I sent it out to family, I sent it out to friends. Here is the first thing I would tell you. You need a network that's not just family and friends. You have to find a way to be able to get what you want to have feedback on to the people that are actually going to be serviced by whatever product you're selling. Because I got great pats on the back from family, I've got thumbs up from friends, but I've got little to no feedback on that pilot from people that really were the folks that I was trying to forward. So I had to go back to the drawing board and grow a following of people that I wanted to work within that field with. And so my is to find ways, whether that be via social media, mapping, blog sites, whatever that is, to create an audience of folks where audience hangs out and become friends with them, so that whenever you test whether or not your plane will fly, you're getting in your product into the hands of the folks that are going to mostly need it and can give you viable, constructive criticism to be able to help refine whatever your vision is toward what they need versus what you want to give them. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does, Jarvis, and I appreciate you sharing that. So you're saying, hey, create your customer market. I'm sure that it's objective, not subjective, where your family's like, hey, 2 thumbs up. But in reality, it has to be like, hey, am I actually serving my audience? Are they actually getting what it is that I need? And meanwhile, you're getting that feedback, real-time feedback. So there are a lot of programs out there, and what do you think is a differentiation from you versus maybe another program?
Well, my program does it in a way, so the program is still under development, let me say that. And I'll pick up where I left off a moment ago with being at the point where I had feedback from people that really weren't pertinent to my field. So a podcast that I went to, yeah, thank you. It's a Battlefield to Business. It's
Battlefield to Business.
To Business,
hey,
the veteran entrepreneurial journey.
Audience, listen, tune into Battlefield to Business as well, okay? Strategy Unlocked, but also Battlefield to Business. Check them out, Jarvis.
Yeah. And that podcast has given me the opportunity to do a couple things. One, it's to grow a network of individuals who are like me, who are like-minded, who want to share their stories as veterans. And 2, it's given me data. It's given me data through every podcast that I created to be able to plug in to find gaps, ways, ends, means to produce a product that is something that people, again, want versus what I want to give them. And so that distinctly makes me different because I have my own set of data points from real on the ground, what I call boots on the business battleground truth of folks who have been through successful businesses. I've interviewed millionaires. I've interviewed folks who have had multiple failures in business, people who are just starting. So that is, around getting and understanding the truth from folks who are actually in it makes you a different type of unique monster that the world has to deal with. And so with that knowledge, I've been able to create, think are gaps. And I don't mind telling you what those are. The biggest thing I hear from the veterans that are on my podcast is that, one, you have a sense of imposter syndrome when you leave the military, where you don't think you stack up well enough against the competitors on the civilian sector. And that really puts us at a disadvantage. And I think the reason for that is because we don't know how to translate what we've done into a portfolio or resume that really creates your equality, your equivalence to those who are similar to you, but have been doing something slightly different. And 2, that we do this on our own. So what we're accustomed to in the military is the S1, the S2, the S3, that's the personnel, the operations, the logistics. Everyone has their own lane. And as long as you did your job, your standard, you were contributing to the Army's mission. However, when you leave the military and you start a business, guess who's the S1, the S2, the S3? It's the guy looking in the mirror at you. And so we struggle to find all the things that are important that we should do before we start the business. And we struggle to keep up. And instead of us running the business ends up running us. And then, many of the entrepreneurs who start down that route tend to fail out because you really, the lesson learned here is time management. You really don't know what you don't know until you're in it. And sometimes we've invested our TSPs, we've invested our family savings into something that we really didn't understand prior to. And it's our job as folks who are teaching, entrepreneurs, slow down, let's wait and see if we're really ready to introduce to the market or invest into this business model and, ensure that you have the stability and the security over time to be able to grow and you understand your overhead, your revenue sheets, and, the black weed. It goes very deep, but those are the 2 things I think, make me different. One, having the data points and the gaps as I've heard them and pouring into those gaps.
I love it. How are you incorporating AI into this process for yourself or for your coaching mentorship sessions?
So AI is taking the world by storm. The audience, if you're not into AI now, then you need to consider it heavily moving forward, because it's only going to become more and more overwhelming, and you're going to be competing against algorithms that the human mind isn't meant to really be able to keep up with. And so in my personal story, AI is insignificant toward the model that I'm building. In fact, the model I'm building is it's generally focused on creating AI flows or diagrams for the veteran to follow, so that you're not the one that's doing it all on your own. So we'll introduce AI opportunities for you on platforms that will streamline your business to becoming something that is in the background working, so that you're not the guy that's doing all the things, and you're able to really get out in front and drive the business. That's really where the problem comes in. We end up trying to be the person answering the phone. We're trying to be the person making the sale, the person handling customer relations. And again, we don't have a great time-life quality balance. And so AI, look online, there are thousands of apps that are out there. My job is just to really package something for the veteran that will allow us to focus in on a handful that help us, that through linking and integrating a particular set of apps to become more powerful in our messaging, and to really create portfolios that help each veteran set themselves aside. Because again, we come with so much experience, start talking about, your 20s and running a squad, or being, I would say CEO of a small company if you're a commander, and employee, and really understanding how you're arraying forces on a battlefield. Not a lot of 20-year-olds get to do that,
$1 million budgets, but
right.
lives and the well-being of their personnel. That's unheard of in the civilian world. Hey, Jarvis, what's the name of your website? If folks want to follow up with you, where can they find you at?
Hey, so you can find me at www.ldrps.com. That's the name of the website. I'm also on social media under the leadership site. That's leadership. And then, so it's kind of funny. There's only one P, leadership, PSYCH, this leadership site, but it's my spin on it. So if you're looking me up, you can also just look up the name Jarvis Buchanan, and that should pop up on most social media platforms.
Hey, Jarvis, I'm going to say a couple words of closing. First, hey, thank you for coming on to today's podcast. You really experienced. I think you really imparted a lot of great wisdom and some golden nuggets with the audience in that process. You also told them where to follow up and where they can go to. So I really appreciate that. Hey, a couple things. Hey, folks, listen to Jarvis. Listen to folks like us, the veterans, because there's a difference. The world is changing. We leaders, the world is changing to what managers are going to be leading agents. They're going to be leading bots. They're going to be leading systems. They're going to be leading processes, but they're not going to be leading people. You need the Jarvises. You need the Lukes out there who have real-time, real-world experience of leading both. So follow us, continue to like, share, and follow. Thank you.
Please like, follow, subscribe, and share. Need a top-notch business consulting firm? Book a free consultation.